Okay, well what we're going to do in this video is we're going to show you my favorite items from 2023. Now, I've never done a video like this before, and we'll keep it fairly simple, but also we won't just do MLD stuff, or I would just simply be saying my favorite pack ever is this one here, which is the MLD Exodus. It's just my favorite pack, but obviously it's expensive, it's not for everybody, it's a frameless pack. So while it's my favorite pack, we're going to overlook it on this occasion, and obviously we don't just want to do MLD stuff. I could also say that my favorite quilts are the MLD quilts, but I do have a bit of a soft spot for PhD. So probably the PhD one will win that award. So we're going to look at packs briefly, we're going to look at sleeping stuff briefly, and we will also look at cooking systems and shelters. Obviously I could just simply say that the Trailstar is my favorite shelter of all time, which it is, and if I was only ever to have one shelter, then it would be the Mountain Laurel Designs Trailstar. But like I said, I want to sort of expand things a teeny weeny bit, so we'll kind of work our way through as we go. I think what we'll do is we will start with packs. As I've already mentioned, obviously my favorite pack would be the MLD Exodus, but I want to look at a couple of other packs that I've used this year which I have liked a lot. Now on the other scale, size wise, from the Exodus, which is quite big, we have, rather unsurprisingly, the Mountain Laurel Designs Hell Pack. So if you want something that is quite small, I use this one a little bit in the summer. I think I managed to get 3 days of food into it, plus shelter, sleeping bag and everything else like that. So that's a really, really nice pack, but it's probably not my favorite of the year. It's probably one of my favorites ever, but we're going to try and keep it sensible. And we're going to have a look over here, and the other pack that I very recently got, this is the HMG Windrider 70, and I used it once on my last trip and it was very nice. I think it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, with the straps and everything else with it, but I liked it a lot. But I think it almost comes down to two options. It's either the, which I can't reach it because it's behind the light, but either the Sierra Designs 40 to 60 pack, or, and I think I'm going to put my vote of favourite pack with the Gregory Paragon 58. Now I know you're all saying he got it free, so he's bound to be saying it's his favourite. And he was saying he didn't like the zips on this. No, I don't like the zip on the side. I don't like the zip on the bottom down here. But one comment did point out that, it's obviously there for a reason, so I kind of got to put up with it. It's 1.6 kilograms or thereabouts, so it's light enough. It's not as light as the Windrider, it's not as light as the Exodus, but it is very, very comfortable. But I was able to get quite a lot in it, pretty much a full winter kit in the Lake District. I managed to get 3 days of food, although I was only there for 2 days, but or 2 nights. But it held a lot, and it was very, very comfortable. So I think for pack, the Gregory Paragon is my favourite pack of this year. We will see next year. You know, maybe next year the MLD pack will be my favourite. Like I said, it's my all-time favourite, but we're trying to be a bit sensible. So the next thing that I think we will look at is sleeping bags and such like that. Now, I think when it comes to sleeping bags, I'm going to say that my favourite of this year is the PhD M degree. I'm not sure which one this is offhand, but this is the plus 10 degree one, and it's just literally light as a feather. And I found it quite comfortable down to about 12 degrees or something like that. So it was surprisingly, you know, surprisingly cozy and warm. It's obviously ridiculously expensive, like all PhD stuff now, sadly. But I think I don't have other sleeping bags to compare it to. You know, I've got the MLD quilts, and whilst I do like the MLD quilts a lot, I have to say that a down sleeping bag for me is always going to win. And I have, you know, I have a selection of PhD sleeping bags, but this M degree bag, you know, I would say it, you know, is my favourite of this year because it's very, very light, packs down very small, and it's what I put in the Hell pack. So, you know, I was able to carry that very, very easily. I think we'll look at shelters. Now, my favourite shelter, this is a tricky one because obviously the Trail Star is my all-time favourite, and nothing will ever beat that. But like I said, we're doing a favourite of 2023, so it comes down to one of two. Either the Hilleberg Enan, which I've borrowed from Chris Townsend, so thank you to Chris. So it's either the Enan, which I have to say I think was very nice, or it's the MLD Cricket, which is a kind of a tarp, but it's yeah, it's I'm going to put my money as the winner for this year on the Cricket, because I took that up to Scotland. The weather was pants up there, and it was fantastic. It was stable, there was acres of space in it, easy to pitch. So I think for shelters is going to be the Cricket. I know it's an MLD product, but I just think that it is, you know, it just is, you know. From a tent, I think the Enan, you know, is my favourite of what I've tried. And obviously I love my other MLD stuff. I've tried obviously the Namaj 2, and I've obviously my Namaj 3 GT and various others, and my tarps and such like. But I just think that the Cricket is my favourite when it comes to shelters. We'll put a Joker in. We'll put a Joker in the mix. And yes, I know we got it for free, but I bought the regular one. But I'm going to put the ground chair in. It's not something that I would take on a longer walk. Definitely not, because it's about 600 odd grams. So I certainly would not be taking it on a longer walk. Anything like 2 or more nights where I'm having to, you know, carry food and everything else, no. But if I'm walking into camp, relaxing in camp, and then walking back again, it's just a no-brainer. You know, it's light enough. It is nice to be able to sit down occasionally, you know. So I think the ground chair is nice. So I'm just going to put that in there as something else. We're going to do a video on gloves. I know what you're thinking. He's just doing these because he can put a link below and to make money out of. Well, yes, of course I am. No, what it is, and you need to watch my glove video. these gloves, they are Polartec WindPro, and you can't get WindPro these days. I don't know why it's not made, but when you watch my glove video, you'll kind of, you know, understand better. But I got these gloves just a few days ago, so they count as a favourite thing. We're talking, you know, different items. But I just really like WindPro in gloves, and you can't get it now, which I think is a travesty. So I think we ought to just get the name Polartec WindPro back out there again. I don't think they'll ever start making WindPro gloves because I'm mentioning them, but I just think they are fantastic. Watch my glove video. Another funny odd favourite of mine this year, and it's not something that I really use very often, but it goes on most camps, and that's my MLD kilt. This is particularly useful, especially in the trail style, if you need an extra door, but you can kneel on it if you absolutely have to. But I just like it as a kilt, you know, in the summery months rather than waterproof trousers. And I don't think Ron makes that at MLD anymore, but it's just something that I kind of treasure a lot. I think when it comes to sleeping pads, and like I said, you know, what I've tried is limited, but I think my favorite sleeping pad or my favorite sleeping on item of 2023 is the Thermarest X-Lite. Yes, they sent me this one as well, but I've got that one. I've got a Z-Lite, and I've got another one there. So, you know, I've bought loads, so I have very good experience with X-Therm, and I just think that the, you know, the new one, you know, it is nice. I quite like the wide mouth thing. It feels a little bit strange blowing it up, but the biggest advantage for me when blowing it up with your big fat mouth is that the air doesn't come out. So, you know, when you blow one puff in and you take a breather, it stays in there. You're not losing half of your puff. So that's my favourite mat of the year. All right, cookers. This is a tricky one because my all-time favourite cooker is unquestionably the Trail Designs Sidewinder. This one here, and you basically have, you know, an entire cooking system which is very lightweight, basically, you know, in your pot. So this is like my favorite all time. But if you want something, but my favorite for not very good at this, am I? But I will say that my favorite for 2023, it could almost be the X-Boil, but that is quite heavy, and yes, it's nice, you can fry on it and all that. The Jetboil, I mean. But I have to say, I think my favourite now, you know, other than the Trail Designs for this year, I think it's the X-Boil. I think it is the X-Boil, because like the Trail Designs, you get a pot and you get a cone that matches the pot, and it will fit inside the pot. I must admit, I've got this one here as well, which is a 700 or 750 pot. I can't remember which pot it is offhand. But the cone, it kind of sticks up a bit, but the lid still fits when you turn the lid upside down. But I think given that I like lightweight stuff, and this actually works, you know, really quite well. You've got a cone, you've got a burner, you've got these little things that you put on the sides. You do have to kind of build it up, and then your pot fits inside the cone, and that is rather nice. I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, it's not as economic as this, because obviously flames can come up the side. And I must admit, I think when I put this rubber stuff on the handles, I think unfortunately I kind of messed the handles up a little bit, and now the handles are lower down, so they kind of touch the metal thing, which means now that the handles, even with this rubber stuff on, can get hot, which is a bit annoying. But you know, other than that slight cock up that I did, that's nothing to do with the pot. That's because I'm rubbish at doing things. It's just, you know, for a lightweight setup, you can use the pot. I think it's a 500 or a 550 pot. You can use the pot, and only the pot. If you want to go really light, then it's big enough but small enough that you can drink tea and such like out of. It's just about big enough that you can put your dinner in, just. That is one reason why I did switch up to the 700 or the 750, whichever that one is, I can't remember now. But it's just a really, really nice lightweight system, and I have used it, you know, quite a bit. And that's probably my favourite cooker of the year. And of course the other benefit, you know, if you want to be doing your frying, then you can put a frying pan on the top, and you can, you know, and you can fry your sausages or whatever you want to fry, your steak, you know, you can fry on it. And it's, you know, it's very, very light. I'm not going to bother giving you specifications, but you know, clearly it looks light, and it is light. So that's my favorite stove of 2023. And then it just all fits, you know, back in. It just all fits in that one little pot, and you can put your lighter in there. Oop, you can put your lighter in there. You know, everything just goes in that one little pot, and I really like that. I wish I hadn't messed up the handles. That's the only slight annoying thing. I messed that up. I think my favourite torch is this one. I have used the Sun Blesser, which is around there. So Sun Blesser did send me this torch as well, and we're going to do a giveaway on, I've got one to give away, so we'll do that probably late winter, early spring. And you know, for a torch, it is very, very nice. It works fine. The battery lasts on full power about 2 hours, which is fine for general use. But when I was up in Scotland with Chris, and we had to shift camp in the middle of the night, I was suddenly having to charge it up. So the problem with this is, if you're in camp and you're using it in camp, and then you suddenly have to pack up camp in the middle of the night, you might have used the whole torch, and it might be as I did, you then end up having to put power into it. And well, luckily I had a light on my on my watch, so I was able to pack up, you know, with the light on my watch. But if you haven't got that, you need to make sure you either have a spare torch, which you always should do in the winter, or have a torch that lasts a little bit longer, and have a torch that lasts a bit longer. So I did ask Chris Townsend what he uses, and and he liked the Swift RL. And I've used that a few times now, and it's really, really nice. So, you know, if you're looking for a head torch, it's a little bit heavier, obviously, than that, but it lasts for a very, very long time. And if you were using it, you know, in camp at night, and you had to evacuate, you know, in the middle of the night or something, you're going to have plenty of power, you know, in that. So I think the Swift RL Petzl torch is my favourite torch of the year. Okay, so what else have we got? All right, favourite shoe of the year is, and I don't think they, well actually I think they do, but I don't know whether they're going to carry on doing it. This is the Terra Ultra, but it's 270 grams, and I only ever use them for walking. But it's an Innovate, it's a zero drop, you know, shoe, and it's incredibly comfortable. So I really do like, you know, Innovate shoes. Basically, you know, three season really, apart from when it's, you know, freezing cold. But that's a very, very nice shoe. So that would be my favourite shoe of the year. Jacket. What would be my favourite? It's not so easy with waterproofs because like I said, I really kind of switched back to Gore-Tex with waterproofs at the moment. So, you know, take your pick on that. I don't know whether my favourite jacket is either this one here, which I did a video on, and it was a little bit on the tighter side back then, but I think maybe now that I'm sure now, because I've lost so far about 8 kilograms, and I think this is now in a position where it's fitting me better, because in the video when I did it I had a little bit of a fat stomach in it. So this PhD jacket is very, very nice. So, you know, maybe that's my favourite, you know, warm jacket. Or this Arc'teryx jacket, which is quite nice for going over something. It gives a little bit of warmth, And I used that the other day, Atom SL. So this is the lightest one that they do. It's about 270 grams or something like that. So I think when it comes to jackets, I'm going to say, whilst I love the PhD stuff, I'm going to say my favourite warm jacket is the Atom SL, because I think it's more adaptable. You know, I could wear it under something, and I can also, if it's not too cold, just whip it on in camp, you know, to ward off a slight chill. And if it's not too cold, I could wear it in camp and put the hood up rather than a wind shirt. So yes, the PhD stuff is my favourite ever, but I'm going to say that that's my favourite jacket of the year in warm stuff, because I think that's quite versatile. I have been a little bit naughty. I was a bit of a naughty boy. I wasn't going to get it, but I got it from Dave in the Gorge Outdoors, and he's always very generous because he's a friend, so he's always quite generous with, you know, a little discount for me. Plus I've known him for a very, very long time, so it's kind of on account, and I'll pay it off over a period of time. And I did get this Paramo Endura jacket. So I haven't actually used this, you know, yet. It's kind of very, very similar to the Aspira, but I just think it's a little bit longer, which I think would be good for me, you know, in the winter. So next year, so that's like my newest jacket that I've not worn yet. I literally got it on the 23rd, so about 3 days ago. So we will see more of that. Another new favourite is something that I got a couple of months ago, is the Mountain Equipment Arrow shirt. And I found that very, very nice, because often I wear shirts, you know, I was always wearing shirts, and I just wanted to try something, you know, that was a shirt but wasn't a shirt, more technical. So when it comes to shirts and such like, you know, then the Arrow is probably my favourite. Oh, trousers. That's not so straightforward. Probably Mountain Equipment or something like that. Probably a pair of Mountain Equipment trousers. My all-time favourite are the Montane trousers, but I can't fit into them at the moment. So the Mountain Equipment technical trousers are probably my favourite, you know, at the moment for trousers. Socks would be probably Dan Tough at the moment. They seem to be really good. So Dan Tough socks. My favourite foam matting, I did a video on foam matting. Whilst I do very much like the Z-Lite, and I will always take some Z-Lite with me because it's a little bit thicker, so I always take that. But this thin foam matting from Needle Sports in Cumbria, I mean, I bought it, I had to pay for it. I mean, they didn't give it to me, but that is I think that's my favourite, because it's very, very light. You can cut it to a good size that kind of suits you, and it's not too expensive. And it's just, I just like that. So for foam matting, I think that is just really, really good. And as I say, you'll see that in my video with the Namage 2. We haven't done a video like this before. We'll see how it goes, see how you like it. We'll keep it really, really simple, because when I do my editing, I tend to move everything over to a hard drive, and that hard drive is full up. So maybe next year I'll try and keep things a bit more organized, and then maybe I can add some B-roll in of using some of the stuff for next year. But I'm not going to bother with that this year. It's too I'm too lazy, you know. Like I said, I just do this for fun. You know, I'm not going to be putting a million hours into everything. I do enough as it is. And the ones that want to watch are going to watch, as I said before. And the ones that don't want to watch, they're not going to watch anyway. You know, I found that it doesn't matter how much effort I put in. On the times when I put extra effort in, no one more watches than normal anyway. We will finish there. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you, in the next video. Please do like, and if you want to drop a comment below, that helps. But like I always say, if you have got this far in the video, you have done more than anybody else to help this channel. I don't know about growing or what, but you've helped more than anybody, and I hope it's been helpful. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. I'm just going to say a little private thing here at the end for the one or two of you that make it to the end. This video obviously is different. Yes, a few of the items I will try to remember to link below. Why not? Might help you, helps me with a bit of petrol. It's only like 2% anyway, commission, if anyone gets anything from Amazon or anything. Sometimes I do get the feeling that some people think that I'm going to change, or I'm going to become like a salesman or a marketing thing or something, because I do the occasional video either like this or just showing kit or something like that. it's nice to show kit. It's nice to do a video like this because I think some people, I think some people enjoy a video like this. But it doesn't change anything. The channel stays exactly the same. So, if you are one of the ones that thinks, oh no, he's turning into a salesman. No, everything is exactly the same. I'm not changing anything at all. But videos like this, it does attract, a few other people. And, the more that we can try to get to watch, the better. I'm not chasing views or anything. I'm not doing anything different. But it is just nice just to drop things like this in, occasionally.